Hey folks, this is Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be my top 5 tweets of the week review, June 20th, 2010. Before we get started, let me get a drink. God's plan isn't about being a martyr. It's about being wisely ambitious. It's about thriving. And again, here's how it starts off. You go off doing things your way, you reach a certain amount of success. And then you start following God's way. Well, you have to be broke down, give all your ways up, and then you start taking on His ways, and then you start growing like a tree, and then you're more successful than you ever were going to be doing the other way. And that's just how it goes. I met this woman, and she was caught up in being a martyr, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, just get over it, quit trying to be a martyr. And she's like wearing like a big badge. Oh, I'm suffering for God. No, you're suffering because you're stupid. That's why we're all suffering in this life. We give in to pleasures, then we decide to go the right way, and then that means you're going to be suffering because you're going to have to, because the opposite of pleasure is misery, and you're going to have to go through misery to get back to harmony. So, it ain't suffering for God. Suffering because of your own stupidity. And I know I'm suffering now because of my own stupidity. And I'm trying to get smarter. Okay. Tweets in a similar line. The wise man builds his inner world first. The fool only builds his outer world. Do you see baby steps written all over this? And, a lot of people think I'm a loser because I'm going down. I'm going down to rebuild myself right. It's like, if I have an emotional issue, I'm going to deal with it first before I try to build my outer world, because I'm building this world first, and then I'm going out. You know what I'm saying? So, growth can be painful, and that's why a lot of people don't get on the spiritual path, because they don't want to deal with the pains of growing. They want to run. Let's go get a pizza. Let's go have let's don't deal with this emotion. Let's go get something. Let's go somewhere. Let's run. Let's go to vacation. Let's do anything but deal with it. Next tweet. Reality checks are hard but necessary. I think that's enough said. It's miserable being around people who can't grow. Oh man, it is miserable being around people who can't grow. And almost everybody I'm around can't grow, so it is completely miserable most of the time. And so anyway, and I will be I won't have any more videos from this place because I'm ready to move out and get my own place. So, okay. Don't try and make it happen, let it happen. And I've been really struggling this week and suffering because I've been trying to make a spiritual revolution take hold instead of letting it happen through natural principles, and they're making me miserable. I'm just, I'm getting to where whatever. I'm going to do my little best. Whatever happens, happens. If you believe in it, you have to do your little piece to make whatever you can do happen. Okay. You can't make growth happen. You remove things that prevent it, just like with plants. And I sort of look at this spiritual revolution as growing something, which it is. I mean, I don't look at it that way. That's what it is. And it's sort of like a plant. You give it good soil. You give it sunlight. You make sure it's got enough sunlight and protection and this and that, and water, and then all you can do is just let God do His thing, or whatever you want to call it, the essence of life or whatnot. So. In this next tweet, evaluation is the first step to progress, then small manageable steps, and that's just, a lot of people get ahead of themselves when they try to make progress because they don't want to wait and evaluate first. They just want to jump in and make a bunch of changes, which it doesn't work. Okay, tweet number 2. You'll get tired of any person. You won't get tired of the path. Follow the right thing. I've been thinking about, it's just like friends and women and stuff like that, and, mate. And I'm like, you get tired of anybody. I don't care if it's your best friend or your soulmate. You get tired of anybody, but I don't get tired of making progress. I mean, I may get tired of the pain that come along with progress. However, I don't get tired of the past. So focus on the right thing, and which this goes into another similar tweet. Friends and enemies are events, not people. Enemies bring you pleasure and stroke your ego. Friends bring you the truth. So don't look at friends as a person. A friend is a person, because friends quickly turn to enemies, and enemies quickly can turn to friends. Just look at it as an event. And I think it makes life a little bit different, a little easier. So that's why I don't. Because clinging to one person is an attachment. It's using it something beyond its usefulness. So anyway, next tweet: fish in a bowl are safe, but aren't really living. I was in Walmart and I was looking at I was looking at some fish in a tank, and I was thinking, man, they're safe in that water, in that little bowl, but they're not really living. Even if they were living in real life, it'd be more dangerous, but they would really be living. So that's what goes in this next similar tweet. There is living recklessly, there is barely living due to fear, and the best is living while being responsible. And we see people just careless as all get out, and especially around here where I'm at, a bunch of rednecks. That's not the way to go. Then you see opposite people just hiding, scared of everything, living in their closed up world all the time, and that's not really living. And so the best is to learn how to live, but at the same time be responsible. I've always had that gift. I've always had the gift of knowing how to live but not cross that line. So anyway, none of this world is about you or me. It's only in our minds that this seems true. And it's just, how many times we got to be shown this fact over and over again? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And this is another tweet that's in line with that. This is one of the reasons why the Bible is so popular. It constantly strokes your ego. You're God's chosen people. You're blah 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 blah. You're the center of the universe. You're the center of God's eye. It's bullshit. So next. Ego is a problem because it puts us at the center of the universe, which is out of harmony with reality. And you think, well, what's the harm with it? We're the greatest creatures on this planet. Yeah, I mean, having a head trip can be okay for a while, but, what happens when aliens come and we ain't really prepared for that because we've been living in a bullshit fantasy land of our own minds, Could be death to us, so who knows? There's always a consequence somewhere. Well, and I guess too, when you think you're the center of God's eye, you think you can do whatever you want and there's no consequences, like, potentially global warming or nuclear wars and stuff. It's, like I say, the world is about growth, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's about growing the human species. If we get too stupid, I mean, the dinosaurs ain't here no more. It wasn't about them, so we keep screwing up, it won't be about us for too much longer. Now, when I say too much longer, I mean, it could be thousands and even a million years, but anyway. People ramble on because they don't understand. Those who know get to the point. And I just sit there and listen to people like, the reason they ain't getting to the point because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I've noticed that too when I'm writing something, I'll just ramble on. And I realize now when I'm writing, if I get to 2 or 3 pages and I haven't really said anything, or I've said a bunch of stuff but not really got to the point, that's when I know I need to back up, sit down, and say, okay, what do I not really understand here that's keeping me rambling but not really saying anything. And you see a lot in science, man. They just ramble on, and they can't explain it to you. All the scientific knowledge BS. And, if you really understood what you're saying, you could put it in one succinct sentence or something, or real short. So, okay, how much silence do you have in your life, and why are you running from it? I watch people all day long, and it's all they ever do is run. Have a moment of silence. Oh, I don't want to hear what's going on in my spirit. Man, I get so tired of them, man. I have to put up with their constant disharmonious living habits. Tell less and question more. And I'm starting to get to where I'm starting to, people can't handle the truth, really. So and in some ways, when I'm dealing with people in my ordinary day life, I'm going to start questioning more instead of just telling them the way it is, because I'm going to start feeling them out to feel what they can handle, and then once I feel what they can handle, I'll tell them what they, I might question them in a way that opens their mind. I'm getting tired of telling them because they really just blow up because they just can't handle it. Next tweet, there are no formal schools or certificates for enlightenment. The only real school is reality, and your results are your certificate. I mean, I'm sitting there trying to write this book proposal, and I'm sitting there going like, well, I can't say I went to any school. I can't say what I mean, it's like, it's all, what school did the Buddha go to? What school did Jesus go to? What school did Lao Tzu go to? They didn't, man. It's reality. Reality is school number one. Harvard can't compete with reality. Yale can't compete with reality. There ain't no school can compete with reality. I've got the best school. I've learned the best path from the greatest teacher, which is reality. Survival instincts will frequently override stupidity. I'm walking through the store, and I was walking to the store, and these 2 women are walking the sidewalk, and they're walking too wide. I'm like, okay, I get over as much as I can, without walking in the grass. And she acts like she's not going to get out of my way. I was like, you know what? I'll just run you over. I ain't scared of running you over. I ain't scared of knocking you down if that's what I have to do to get you to, give me the proper respect as a human being. And, it's like, and I have this problem with white people a lot. They think that the world sort of owes you to get out of their way or something. I'm like, you give me a freaking break. So my point is, her survival instincts kicked in, it overrode her stupidity of ego, and she got the hell out of my way, because if she didn't, I'd have run her ass over. And I don't mean that to be mean. She's the one being mean. You just got to. Sometimes you have to teach people lessons. And I'm not saying going around being mean and stuff, but I'm saying that you can only you should yield so much to people, and then you should deal with them. So until the next video, later, folks.